Will you please convene the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel?
Thank you, Chairman Day. Will the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel please come to order? We have 5 speakers today, and each has 3 minutes. We have Mr. Garrick Wilhelm, Eshman Hakobian, Rocky Sanchez, and Tessie Rees, and Neil Jacqueline. You have 3 minutes each, please.
Thank you, trustees. My name is Garrick Wilhelm, speaking on behalf of the student body at San Francisco State University. As you've considered the executive compensation for future university presidents in the CSU, I'd like to bring your attention to another systemic injustice created by the system of compensation negotiated with collective bargaining units. Parking on campus is an enterprise that is completely self-supporting. Unfortunately, students aren't represented in collective bargaining and are left with the brunt of the cost of paying for parking facilities on CSU campuses. At San Francisco State University, students pay $640 a semester for a full week parking permit, while faculty and staff pay $85 to $101 a semester, depending on their bargaining unit. Subtract the student parking rate from the transportation costs covered by financial aid, and the student is left with $308 a year to pay for the costs of registration, insurance, maintenance, and ownership of the vehicle that they park on campus. This represents a purposely designed systemic injustice that happens completely out in the open and in front of everyone's face. Parking programs on campuses can only turn to students to subsidize the discounts provided to employees in the CSU. How is it fair that full-time unionized employees pay 1/7 of the price that a part-time student employee pays? Parking programs suffer for not being able to properly raise the money needed to maintain the parking they must provide. It would be more fair if employees were given an allowance as part of their compensation to pay for parking at the same rate as students. When we shared this with legislators and introducing legislation sponsored by CSSA, they asked why we are encouraging faculty and staff to drive when sustainability efforts would best be served by raising everyone's parking prices and using the income to increase sustainability programs like shuttle buses and transit incentives. At San Francisco State, we have the Gator Pass, $180 semester student fee that provides a semester-length pass for San Francisco Transit and a 50% discount on BART. This provides transit costs comparable to the low-income discounts provided by local agencies. As a required student fee, those who drive must also pay that fee, as well as their transportation and parking costs. Some question whether student employees in the CSU should follow the example of UC students and unionize the entire system. At least then students would not be as disadvantaged by a system that wouldn't exist without them. At San Francisco State, we address this by shaming those who choose to drive. This also isn't acceptable. I was elected to represent the entire student body, including those who choose to drive. Shaming someone for their transportation choices is not an appropriate response to an oppressed minority of students who suffer injustice, even if those students may benefit from other advantages. Being a student is hard enough. In San Francisco, it takes a particular strength of character to bear the challenges of trying to live, work, and learn in the most expensive market in California. I believe that CSU employees need to be fairly compensated, and that employees at San Francisco State make conscious sacrifices to be part of a very special and unique academic community. Please bear in mind the idea that the benefits and compensation you provide to employees have consequences for students who already suffer from injustice created by a system meant to provide them an education.
Hello, my name is Ejmin Hakobian, and I'm here to share my personal opinion. I am so sorry for the San Francisco State. Lynn Mahoney actually is the person on our campus who received the vote of no confidence with President Covino and brought the impaction status to our campus. So I'm really sorry, and I feel like you guys are going to have another vote of no confidence on a president very soon. But that reflects how these boards operate and how these personnel meetings are done behind the scenes. And no students are involved, and you have complete and total disregard for shared governance. Shared governance is a joke for this board. Now, yesterday, you guys all clapped for President Covino and Chancellor White, and I feel like I need to make the point again that Chancellor White and President Covino need to resign. They are incompetent, and they haven't been able to do their job, and they do not understand the community that they are serving. You guys clap for President Covino and Chancellor White, and here's the list of short list of things that they have done. Retaliating against over-enrollment on a campus, poor planning, and mismanagement of campus funds and resources. When they were faced with criticisms from the students, they decided to retaliate against them by freezing their budget. It's not that you guys care, but there was an executive order 369, and in violation of that, they froze the budget. They went on opening up, abusing the Title IX office powers and the Judicial Review Office to go against student leaders. They continued, Chancellor's Office, Lauren Blanchard, Mandel, and the other one. They were informed, but they didn't do anything about it. 2.5 years from then, the student body again voted with a supermajority. They voted no confidence on President Covino, Lynn Mahoney, that's going to Sacramento State, and Tom Enders. They brought, because of their poor planning execution of these plans, the campus is over-enrolled and there's no proper staffing, and they are using impaction to exclude students who need access to these services on our community. I hope very soon. I don't see the Democratic leadership of the administration in California has the courage to take a stance on this, but I hope soon, with the help of community leaders and courageous student leaders, we can change the composition of the board and get rid of Chancellor White, President Covino, and whoever who decides to do similar things. Thank you.
Board of Trustees, Presidents, brothers and sisters and guests, I'm Rocky Sanchez, VP for Representation, CSUEU, a 26-plus year employee at Cal Poly Pomona. I just wanted to thank you all for the catastrophic leave and the changes within, and I do want to read, because this was a concern at the last board meeting. In the policy, it was added, an employee who accrues vacation or sick leave credits may voluntarily donate either of those credits to another employee within the California State University system to be used for catastrophic leave in the event of a natural disaster state of emergency. I just want to say thank you, because that means that all employees across the system can donate when our brothers and sisters face a natural disaster and not rely just on their co-workers within that campus, that we all can help out for all employees. Thank you.
Good morning, trustees, Chancellor White, campus presidents, and guests. My name's Neil Jacklin. I'm the president for CSU Employees Union. I'm going to comment basically the same as my colleague here. The devastating campfires that destroyed the town of Paradise and the Sonoma wildfires were natural disasters that not only impacted the CSU campuses, but also uprooted the lives of CSU employees whose homes were unfortunately in nature's destructive path. As California continues to prepare for future wildfires, I do want to take this moment to remember and acknowledge the suffering the people of Paradise have endured, the loss of life, loss of homes, and loss of their neighborhoods. Today, the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel recommend the revisions of Title V, California Code of Regulations, Article 4.2, Catastrophic Leave Donation Program. The recommended revision includes expanding the current catastrophic leave donation program to align the CSU with other state agencies, provide more flexibility to campus presidents, and provide additional support to CSU employees who have experienced a natural disaster or state of emergency. We appreciate Vice Chancellor Nazario, Chancellor White, and the committee members for listening to public comments and finding the technology needed to allow employees to donate their credits across campuses for catastrophic leave. Speaking for the affected CSU employees at Chico and future CSU employees, we look forward to the approval of the proposed resolution. Thank you.
Does it turn on? Good morning. I'm Tessie Reese, Unit 2 Chair from San Diego State, and my two colleagues have said everything that I wanted to say. What I wanted to end with the collaboration that occurred for this to happen, gives me hope that as we move forward, we can continue to have the same collaboration moving forward with any type of situation that comes forward, including bargaining next year for all of us that have to bargain with the CSU. It means that we can do this together with respect, dignity, collaboration, intelligence, and come to terms with what we need to do in a good, fair way. Thank you.
Thank you all for your comments. Now we move to the consent agenda, which is essentially our minutes. Does anybody want to have any revisions of the minutes, corrections? If not, may I have a motion for approval? Second? Okay, I hear a first and a second. Well, those people say aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it, and we have our minutes approved. The committee has 2 action items on today's discussion agenda and 1 information item. The first 2 items are action items on executive compensation and will be presented consecutively. The third item is an information item regarding the approval of recommended revisions of Title V regarding the catastrophic leave donation program. So action item number 1, the compensation for president of Humboldt State University. And will Chancellor White please make that presentation?
Thank you, Trustee Morales. Today I bring before the board compensation recommendations for 2 campus presidents. In each case, the recommended salary is the same as the predecessor. Item 2, as amended, is compensation for the president of Humboldt State University. I'm extremely pleased to welcome Dr. Tom Jackson, Jr. as the next president of Humboldt State University, and he will assume his presidency on or before July 1st, 2019. Jackson succeeds Lisa Rossbacher, who will be retiring at the end of June after serving as Humboldt State University president for 5 years. Jackson becomes the 8th president of Humboldt State and the first African American to serve in that role. He is currently president of Black Hills State University in Spearfish, South Dakota. Jackson has been president at Black Hills since 2014. He has held other leadership roles within higher education, including Vice President for Student Affairs at both the University of Louisville and Texas A&M University in Kingsville. He has also held administrative positions and served on the faculty at McMurray University, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, the University of Southern California, and St. Mary's University. He earned an associate's degree from Highline Community College, a bachelor's degree in business management and personnel from Southwest State University, a master's in counseling and student personnel from Shippensburg University, and a doctorate of education from the University of La Verne. A first-generation student, Jackson is also a veteran of the United States Coast Guard Reserve, the Army National Guard, Texas State Guard, and the Indiana Guard Reserve. As you see in the amended handout, I'm recommending an annual salary of $336,996. This is the same salary as the current president. Additionally, Jackson will receive an annual housing allowance of $50,000, and in accordance with trustee policy, a monthly auto allowance of $1,000 and standard benefits for CSU executive employees will be provided. Before going further, I would be remiss to not thank the faculty, staff, trustees, student, and presidential involvement in the search committee. I also wish to thank again Lisa Rossbacher, who's provided remarkable leadership at the campus for 5 years, and I wish her well in her upcoming retirement. Item 3 is compensation for the president of San Francisco State University, and as you now have heard, We are delighted to announce that Dr. Lynn Mahoney is the next president of San Francisco State. She becomes the 14th president of San Francisco and the first woman to serve in that capacity. Mahoney succeeds Leslie Wong, who will be retiring in July 2019 after 46 years in higher education, including service as San Francisco State's president for the past 7 years. Mahoney currently serves as provost and vice president for academic affairs for California State University, Los Angeles, and as the chief academic officer at Cal State LA. Her portfolio of responsibilities includes oversight of all 8 of the campus's colleges, as well as the library and all academic support units. From 2008 through early 15, Dr. Mahoney held various roles at California State University, Long Beach, including Associate Vice President for Undergraduate Studies and Interim Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Studies, where she oversaw enrollment planning and institutional research, among other areas. Her other professional experience in higher education includes leadership positions at Purchase College and the State University of New York, where she was Associate Provost for Integrative Learning and Vice President for Students, as well as a member of the faculty. She earned a bachelor's degree in American Studies from Stanford and a PhD in History from Rutgers University. And as you see in the amended handout, I'm recommending an annual salary of $367,690. This is the same salary as the current president. Additionally, Dr. Mahoney will receive an annual housing allowance of $60,000 and, in accordance with trustee policy, a monthly auto allowance of $1,000 and standard benefits for CSU executive employees will be provided. I also wish to thank the faculty, the staff, the trustees, and the students and presidential involvement in the search committee. I want to thank Les, who has provided a strong leadership at the campus over these years, and I wish him and his family all the best in the upcoming retirement. Trustee Morales, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you for your presentation, Chancellor. We're going to take up each item separately. The compensation for the president of Humboldt State University is an action item before the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel. Only committee members may vote at this time. Do I have a motion for approval? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There no discussion. May I have a vote? For those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, we have a motion approved. Thank you very much. And now we move to item 3. Compensation for the president of San Francisco State University is an action item before the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel. Only committee members may vote at this time. Any discussion? May I have a motion? Okay, any discussion after the motion was made? Great, hearing none. Will all those please say aye? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. The item is approved. Item 4 is an information item regarding recommended revisions of Title V, California Code of Regulations, Article 4.2 on catastrophic leave donation program. The item will be presented by Evelyn Nazario, Vice Chancellor for Human Resources. Please begin.
Thank you, Chair Morales. Today, we are proposing a revision to Article 4.2 of Title V, which addresses the catastrophic leave donation program. At the March Board of Trustees meeting, the board approved an expansion of the current program to include natural disaster state of emergency. At that meeting, I also mentioned that the CSU was exploring the viability for employees to donate leave credits for catastrophic leave in the event of a natural disaster state of emergency across campuses. It was evident from the numerous inquiries received during the fires that impacted Sonoma State and Chico State that employees are compassionate about wanting to be able to assist their colleagues at other campuses during times of need. The ability to allow inter-campus donations, including the Chancellor's Office, will enable individuals who have been impacted to focus on rebuilding their lives and provide some peace of mind. The system-wide catastrophic leave donation program will be administered centrally at the Chancellor's Office. No changes are being made to how we currently process donations, as the hour-for-hour method is considered to be a best practice in educational institutions and public agencies. due to the ease of administration and because it creates a fair and equitable benefit for all employees. This proposed revision to Title V will be noticed for public hearing as required and will be presented for action at the July 2019 Board of Trustees meeting. Trustee Morales, that concludes my presentation. I now welcome any questions or discussions from the board.
Ms. Tyson?
I just want to echo the public speaker's commendation of your leadership, Evelyn, in getting this done. You knew that everybody wanted it, and it was a tough nut to crack, but you've done it, and you've done it very quickly, and it's just really to be commended. Thank you.
Okay, other comments? Thank you very much for your presentation. Chairman Day, this concludes the business of the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel.
Thank you, Trustee Morales.